All right, he's a quarterback, he's a father, and now he's a butcher. And he's got cuts. We're going to open up this box of meat.
What's in the box?
While we're talking to Jay, they sent us a little care package here.
They did. We're going to have to divvy this up.
But Jay Cutler joins us right now on the Corona hotline. How the heck have you been, Jay?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
Yeah, you sound great.
All right. First of all, before we get going,
You guys are slinging. You guys are slinging Corona now.
Yeah. Oh, you know
Are
it.
you
Yeah,
kidding me?
for a while.
Of course. We'll sling anything, buddy.
Oh, I know. I'm slinging meat. So
Right. That's right. We're having Corona and some of the product. Before we get to the product, and we're going to open this up on the air, and then we're going to fight over the product. I just read it. I read an article, and I know that you are a guy that can. How is the best way to describe Jay with regard? He's a hunter.
Yeah, he's rugged.
He's an
a rugged dude.
outdoorsman.
Outdoorsman's good. Right.
There you go. Okay. There's a news story that suggests the average person, okay, because of what everyone's gone through with the pandemic, people are now jogging more or walking more or gardening. The average American feels that they can survive for 16 days alone in the wilderness. Survey
that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Survey of 2,000 people reveals Americans feel quite at ease with the idea of surviving in the wild. However, only 17% feel very confident in their ability to start a fire with flint. Moreover, just 14% feel the same about their ability to identify an edible plant.
I'd be shocked if people could survive 16 hours in the wilderness alone.
Okay, so this is my question to you. How long, if you went out just on a hike, you don't have your rifle with you or whatever you're carrying, but you may have a nice sized pocket knife.
Okay.
It's just you in the wild.
Yeah.
And you've got a lighter as well, okay? So you could start a fire. So you've got you got a lighter and a knife. How long could you last in the wilderness?
Well, see, I don't need that much food. So, like, if I can find water and I have fire, I can figure out enough small things to eat. I don't know. I mean, it's on temperature. If it's cold, I'm in the mountains, it's a problem. If I'm in a swamp, I hate snakes, so I'm screwed.
Right.
If I'm kind of just if it's summer and I'm out west, or if I'm in the Midwest, I don't know.
Okay, here's the deal. So you're on you're on a 4-wheeler. You've had a couple of drinks, and you go into the woods. You go into the woods, okay, and you get lost. So you're in like Tennessee, somewhere in rural Tennessee.
Well, here's the problem with this scenario. My sense of direction is superb. You can ask any of my friends. Like, this isn't even viable. This isn't even going to happen.
Well, let's just pretend that it did.
I can't pretend that because it would never in a million years happen.
I'm betting on you. I'm betting over 21 days. I'm setting the total at 21, and I'm going over on.
That's a long time.
That is.
Yeah, but you're an outdoorsman,
You're
like
a
Waddle
mountain
said.
man.
Yeah, I know, but that's a long time to do it. I'm not saying I couldn't do it. I just wouldn't want to do it.
Give me a day. How long do you think? Give me a number. How long could you do it?
I mean, 3 weeks is a long time. I'd go 14 days.
Really?
I'd say 14 days I can do it.
Have you ever seen Naked and Afraid on television?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever had the urge to apply to be one of those people?
I have never had the urge.
Okay.
And here's my problem. I don't like snakes.
Okay.
So, like, I feel like with my luck, I would be dropped in like a swamp in Louisiana, and I'm tapping. I hit my feet, hit the ground. That's where I'm at. I'm out.
Okay.
See you later.
How about a non-snake, snake-free environment? There's a guarantee there's no snakes.
Would I do it? Is that the question?
Yeah. Would you do Naked and Afraid? Let's go to the desert with no snakes.
There's snakes in the desert.
I know, but again, you got to play along.
And Jay, don't forget, you survived a year with a snake with Aaron Cromer.
Whoa! Oh, Jesus!
Wow,
that's a segue.
Wow, shots fired.
Just like the old days, right? Just like the old days. We're having a good time. Having a good time. We're talking.
Coming from the rafters.
Silvy reaches in his pocket, pulls out a sharp object, and
I feel like he writes down like 10 zingers before I get on. Like, oh gosh, please let me say one of these.
How can I keep up otherwise? Yeah.
All right, so we'll skip that. Now,
So we got this box.
I'm opening it.
I got to tell you, the commercial first of all, or whatever the social media thing that they put together with you and Pat LaFrida called Cuts, as you launch Cuts. Yeah. It's a monthly subscription where you can get meat delivered to your door. You've always wanted to open a butcher shop, but like the shots of you like smoking a cigar and just enjoying meat is pretty cool.
Well, that was the point. We weren't going to put out a video that sucked. Come on.
All right.
Hey, watch this video. It sucks. Maybe you'll buy it. Maybe you'll buy our meat.
All right, so I just opened it up, and there are a couple. This looks like something I saw in the Flintstones back in the day. Oh my God!
Do you see
got your name
our
on
names
it?
are on this, on these tomahawks?
Wow!
Is this what this is? A tomahawk steak?
Yes.
Yeah.
So describe. Do you know what they sent us? Is this the average box of meat that you'll get if you subscribe to this?
No, the tomahawk is not. We're putting gift boxes together that I think we're going to be able to include the tomahawk, hopefully. But the rest of the steaks, like we'll have strips and ribeyes and porterhouse, and my box will have pork in it. Pat's won't. There'll be chicken, brisket, everything. I mean, the thing about Pat is I don't know how I got so lucky to get linked up with him, but when he called, it was immediate yes, because his family has been in the meat world and butcher world for the last 100 years. Like literally for the last 100 years, that's all his family's done. So he has some amazing relationships with farmers across the country. So he's sourcing the top 4% of beef in the U.S., and it's all USDA prime. It's never frozen. His facility is phenomenal. So as soon as you hit click, add box, and you put it in your cart and you buy it, you're going to get that box in the next 4 days.
Which is great because Sylvie and I were talking about and we did not know that it wasn't frozen. The fact that it's not frozen is fantastic.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and we know exactly where it's coming from. We know exactly the farmers. I think I'm not going to throw these other subscription beef boxes under the bus, but Pat's kind of the only one out there that did not have to source from other sources, never had to freeze his meat through COVID. We know exactly where this stuff's coming from, and Pat's team is best in the country in my mind. So
is this, when you were on with us, you were on with Twitch before the Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl Sunday, I think you hinted at something coming up. Is this what you were excited about, the new thing you were going to do?
Yeah, we had this, and we were kind of figuring out whether it was going to be a butcher shop, what we were going to do, and we kind of landed on this, and it's turned out great so far, and I think it's just kind of going to get bigger and bigger and better and better. We'll put together more boxes, and hopefully be able to in the future let someone kind of pick out their detailed box of exactly what they want each month, and kind of roll it out like that.
How's the response been so far? I mean, have you kicked this off like in a large form, or are we just getting this thing rolling?
We kicked it off on Thursday with a little social media, and then you clowns are just kind of the second people I've talked to about it.
Awesome.
Who was the first?
Literally just got off the phone with Jim Rome, but we had to get your box first.
Oh, did you have a take, and did you go?
Do what?
Did you have a strong take for Jim Rome?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
That was his bit back in the day. All right, so you can order this.
But I know your feelings are hurt, but Jim didn't get a box. So
he did?
You guys
nice. By the way, Jay, do you know, you probably don't care about this, I was the guest on Jim Rome's show right after Jim Everett pushed him. I was the guest like the following week.
Really?
Yes. I was the post Jim Everett guest for Jim
amazing.
Rome. I did not, and I knew I wasn't supposed to attack him. Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is pretty cool.
He was calling him Chris.
Did you guys talk about it?
I think it was off limits.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like 20-some years ago, wasn't it? Like, my ass is old. I'm 54. This had to have been like almost 30 years ago, 25, 30
Jim's been doing it forever.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's crazy.
So have we.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
Cutsbyjayandpat.com is where you can get all the information. And subscribe, support Jay. Awesome. He's always supported us. So it's a pleasure to have you on. Want to ask you a few football questions and life questions too.
Sure.
So we're all in on Justin Fields. We're very excited. Do you think why?
Yeah, why are you in on him?
Because I think he's got every measurable imaginable. Do you
ever qualify that by saying I don't know what I'm talking about though either?
Yes, all the time. That I am not neither does Ryan Pace, but we're going with it this time. Yeah. I'm like so what do you see then? I mean, you know what you're talking about. What do you see?
Yeah. I haven't watched the kid enough. I think he's obviously talented. You know, he can move, he can throw. He won a lot at Ohio State. He seems to have a little chip on his shoulder, which I don't think is a bad thing. You know, but like we've talked about numerous times, playing quarterback, you know, there's a lot of moving parts, and so you know they've got to get the line, they got to get him some weapons. You know, I know you guys go back and forth on the coach, but I really like the coach, so that's never been an issue in my mind. I think he's going to put together good plans, but like I wouldn't play the kid to start. Like that's what I would. That's where I would start. I would let him watch, and you know, I think it's just a tough spot to put someone out there, especially in Chicago, and you know, I think Andy is more than serviceable. I think they can win games with Andy and kind of float the ship along until the kid's ready.
When you look back at your time in Denver, we were looking at it. I think you played 5 games. Was that because of injury to Jake Plummer, or do I got that wrong?
Yes, no. I mean, I think, he was getting banged up a little bit, but I think Mike had just seen enough and thought it was time and thought it was, my time to kind of go out there. And I don't think he wanted to sit me the whole year. But you have to ask Mike. I never really asked Mike why he pulled the trigger then, but,
how about
I remember the first game I was like, cause there was rumblings that I might play and all this stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea what's happening here. Like, let's figure this thing out for a minute. And we were in St. Louis in the old dome in St. Louis. And it was insanely loud. And I was like, and we had 1 million checks that game. We were checking everything and none of it worked. We got beat down that game, but I was like, if I go in this game, they better dial this back to day one or I'm screwed.
When you look back at your time, do you think that it benefited you to not play from the very beginning, or do you think you were equipped to play from day one? How do you feel like your experience?
I think I was equipped to play. I just didn't. Practicing that week, Jake took all the reps, and that's just kind of how it goes as a starter. So I didn't feel equipped to play week one just because, mentally I wasn't taking the reps. I was, it's different for me. Like I need the reps. I need to see it. So I didn't take the reps, so I wasn't ready to play. But I also think it benefited me tremendously of watching it, seeing the ups and downs, see us lose games, see us win games. And Jake was a consummate pro. He was fabulous with me. And, just seeing how he handled, the life as an NFL quarterback those first 10, 12 weeks, whatever it was insanely valuable for me. And then, whenever I stepped in, he supported the hell out of me and, helped me and answered questions and was there. So, everyone's different. I've always just been on the side of what's 10 games, like what's a season, in the grand scheme of this kid's career. If you believe he's the guy, then, get everything set up so when he's in there, he's supported and he can make things happen the way he should instead of battling through all this stuff and seeing ghosts 5 years from now or 3 years from now.
So what happens, though, if he is even better than you thought he was when you drafted him? He has a great camp, and you deem him, quote, ready. You would even put a governor on him then?
No one knows if he's ready or not. This is preseason and training camp and all this stuff. There's nobody out there that, you can sit in there and look at and be like, all right. Look at Peyton Manning. What doesn't he have the rookie record for interceptions? Yeah. He went out there and did it, but it wasn't pretty. Obviously he figured it out quickly, but there's at the quarterback position, especially the first round, especially in a team that has struggled a little bit. I think you're going to be hard to say, all right, he's 100% ready, we're good to go with him. But I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, if they go out there and play him and he lights it up, I'm going to be thrilled for him.
What would you tell him about the pressure, Jay? Because when you were traded, that's how we started the relationship with you. We wished everyone a happy Jay Cutler day. Like, we were partying when the Bears landed you off your Pro Bowl season. You know about the pressure in this town. What advice would you give Justin Fields?
You know, he came from Ohio State. He's played in big games before, so I don't think he's going to mind it much. But I will say this: that, you know, this isn't Ohio State. This isn't college football. You know, the playing field gets leveled really quickly in the NFL. So you're going to get humbled. Bad things are going to happen. You know, you just have to deal with it. You have to go back and look at the film, and you have to say, "Hey, my bad." And you know, you just kind of want to limit your mistakes as you get older and as you see things, and hopefully the organization builds around them and gives them a chance to win.
Is that the biggest adjustment you found, is having to deal with maybe quote unquote failures, something that you didn't have to deal with in college?
Well, I think that's a big thing for a lot of these quarterbacks coming out. I mean, I went to Vandy, so like always failures for the most part. But a lot of these kids, you know, they're coming out and, you know, they've never lost a game. They've thrown 2 picks or, you know, whatever it was. And, you know, you're going to get in the NFL and you're going to get picked off. You know, you're going to get sacked. You're going to make a wrong read. You're going to get outsmarted by a 10-year veteran somehow. Someone's going to bait you into the throw. Like, all these things are going to happen.
Right.
You're going to get some bad calls off the sideline, and, you know, you're like, well, that didn't work. I mean, all these things are going to happen. And you know, and some of these things are going to be out of your control. Like, they're just going to happen.
Right.
And, you know, that's kind of the mental toughness of being able to control what you can control and keep working.
Hey, I just want to know, are you following this Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packer thing that's going on right now?
I am. Well, I kind of am, but then I was following more his Disney adventures than that. But I just saw his interview. What was it, yesterday or last night?
With Kenny Mayne.
Yeah. I didn't see it. I just read about it.
How do you think that whole thing will get resolved?
I mean, they better give Aaron what he wants.
Do you think they will?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I think I'm guessing here. I literally have no basis for this. I'm just guessing. I would assume that a lot of this stuff has been brewing for 2, 3, 4 years. Right. I don't think this is anything new. I think now it's just come to a head, and Aaron's like, hey, like, I came up MVP season. I'm done dealing with this BS. Fix it, or I'm not coming back. I mean, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I think probably inside the organization, they've known about this. This is I would assume that this is nothing new that they've heard. Now it's, you know, they've got to make a decision.
Do you think he could survive 2 weeks in the wilderness?
I think Aaron probably could. He'd probably figure it out. You know, he's got some knowledge that not many people have. I mean, so I'm sure he's picked up some plan or some way to tap into a tree for maple syrup, or
he looks like water. He's been out in the wilderness for a while these days too.
He's in love, man. He doesn't have to worry about things anymore.
That's right.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, the Aaron Rodgers story is very interesting. I mean, but we're rooting for it to fall apart. I mean,
not the marriage, not the marriage with the Packers. Yes. Yeah, the marriage with the Packers.
Jay, this is our chance, right? We have our quarterback that we drafted, and maybe Rodgers is gone. Now's the time.
I mean, you guys are all piecing it together pretty quickly. Yeah. So, I mean,
Super Bowl.
I just hope at week 6 you're not going, oh my God, you don't have our quarterback. Fire everybody.
Hey, also, I saw Zach. Is Zach Miller dropping an album?
Yeah, can we talk about this?
Yeah,
I didn't know he had any musical inclination.
Thank you for reminding me, because I told him today I was going to talk about it. Yes, How You Like Us Now on Spotify, Apple Music. Everything. Zach Miller.
Is he any good?
I tell you what, I was driving back from Montana last year, and I stopped in a Homada's place, and you know he cooked a bunch of steaks and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come down the studio, to my basement studio, listening to me play. And I was like, I heard him a little bit. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. So we go down there, and he gets his guitar out, and I was like, what in the hell is happening? The dude he taught himself how to play, and the dude can just sing and play, and he writes all of his own stuff. It's incredible.
Country?
Like he ripped country. I mean, yeah, kind of country-ish.
He looks a little bit like Sam Hunt to me. A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a little rock and roll vibe to him. But I mean, I promise you, he played 25 songs that night.
Wow.
And I was like, when did you start this? And he's like, I just kind of taught myself. But he's got a bunch more coming out, but everyone needs to check it out. It launches Friday.
We should ask him to perform in studio.
Yeah.
It sells some albums.
Why don't you?
We'll cook up some of
sure
Jay's
people
meat
would rather
for
listen
him,
to that
too.
than you talk.
We'll bring a grill. We'll bring a grill. We'll cook some of this stuff, and then we'll have a concert.
Yeah, so you just be quiet, you cook, and Waddle can interview Zach as he sings.
Hey, why don't you...
You miss us, don't you? You miss us.
Yes,
you miss
for
these
sure you
conversations.
Oh, I do. We had fun.
Yeah, we did.
We're trying to get the bosses to get us out to Vegas for Bears Raiders. Why don't you meet us out in Vegas?
Let's do this.
For that.
When is it? What's the date?
It's like early October. Perfect time to... We've got Barkley on at 4. We're going to ask Chuck. He loves Vegas to go to. You,
of course he does.
Barkley, Waddle, me. Let's do this.
Keep me in the loop.
Okay.
All right. That's good.
Other than the meat, what else is there anything else you got going on that you need to tell us about? Like any other businesses?
Yeah, don't be a stranger either.
I signed a podcast deal. We're working that out.
Nice. What's it going to be called?
Don't know yet.
Okay. That's the name of it? Don't know yet?
Yep. It's called We're Working It Out. No, I don't know yet. I actually got a call in the next couple of days to start figuring all that out.
Like, who are you working with? Who are you going to do a show with?
Westwood One.
Okay. So you got a lot of stuff happening.
And then I've got a few things here in Nashville that I'm kind of working on too that I think are going to be fun, but we'll talk about that at a later time.
Should be a bar. You should open up a bar called Cuddy's.
Everyone has a bar here.
Okay.
Nashville doesn't need any more bars. Like, it's out of control.
It is. I was there for.
It's literally. It is crazy.
I was there 3 weeks ago, I think, for my daughter's graduation a year later, and we were in the Florida Georgia Line bar, and it was chaos. It looked like New Orleans at Mardi Gras.
Yeah, like every day is the Super Bowl downtown.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah,
but I mean, I guess that's what happens whenever you shut the country down for a year.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the business. We will to send people to the website again. It's cutsbyjayandpat.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks.